welcome to eTree's Enhancements, where we focus on, you guessed it, enhancements. Except not today. Today we're going to be talking about a knife which has been my absolute favorite EDC knife out of all of the ones that I've had, and that is the Spyderco Smock. Now, if you guys don't know what the Spyderco Smock is, it is an S30V blade, ball bearing, compression lock, but it's a compression button lock, which is their only one that they offer in that fashion. And it's also a flipper, kind of unique to Spyderco. If you haven't seen a full review on one of them, go ahead and search for them. I'm not really here to do a review. This is just an overview of a knife that I just picked up, which fixes the issue that I have with the Smock. So aesthetically, I love the Smock. Functionality, the lock, the flipper, the ball bearings. I don't like the fact that it has two detents, so I removed the secondary detent, and so far it works great, and it improves the action by making it even smoother and drop shutty. It's not drop shutty out of the box with the secondary detent, but this just completely brings it over to a paramilitary 2 realm as far as drop shutty. Maybe even smoother because of the ball bearings. But you can Spidey flick this, you can open it with your thumb, and you can flip it open with the flipper, standard flip setup. So before I move on to this one, I want to point out a few knives that I like and compare the size in case you guys are actually looking into picking one of these up and you don't have a Smock previously. So this is a CH Knives Cleaver. It's one of my favorite ones, but it's extremely heavy. It's also ball bearing. That's something you will notice on my knives, is they are all, except for one, ball bearing. So this one has an excellent action and is extremely drop shutty. Anyway, this is a Spyderco Positron. It does require quite an aggressive flip, also ball bearing. This is just a liner lock setup. And this is a 3-inch blade. Then I've got a really tiny one that I really actually love. I carry it in the 5th pocket of my jeans. This is the square head, which I think has been discontinued, but it works great. And then this is where it becomes an issue, or it became an issue, is that I loved the Smock, but I really wanted a steel upgrade, which was this one being S30V. I really wanted something nicer. I did have a Kershaw Dividend, an M390, but I ended up breaking the assist spring because I flick them open constantly. So I ended up buying this, which is a ZT-0462 designed by Sinkovich. Amazing action, ball bearing, frame lock, and 20CV steel. I did have a problem with this though, and that is that even though I love the looks, if you notice something about all the other knives is that they are either worn cliff, reverse tanto, or a sheep's foot. So you can see that I tend to prefer the flatter or slight curved blades over the other ones. Here's another knife. This is our P40 War Knuckle, which we laser engrave here. Also ball bearing, but I don't usually carry that one because of the, again, higher end steels. Anyway, so I didn't like this because of the blade shape, even though I love the looks. So I started telling my girlfriend that I would carry the Smock more often if it had an upgraded blade steel. And lo and behold, I think it was a day later, I find out from Spyderco on their Instagram page that they're coming out with a different version of the Smock, sold exclusively through KnifeJoy. It was a limited edition, which is why this sticker is here, and is probably you're seeing it on the headline. So let's go ahead and open it. I believe they're making around 1,000 of them. This is a C240 GP as opposed to the standard Smock, which is a C240 CFP. But let's go ahead and unbox it. Now I am going to go ahead and say that I already went through this and I already removed the secondary detent as I did on my original Smock. But let's just go for it anyway. Comes in this little bubble wrap. And here it is. You also get inside the box a little letter from Spyderco. It says, congratulations on your purchase, blah, blah, blah. Limited edition exclusive version of the Spyderco Smock. And again, this one is CPM-20CV, which is the same steel on this knife. Super high-end steel, which is something that I really, 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 really wanted on my Smock, but I couldn't get until either Spyderco or KnifeJoy answered my prayers. Anyway, moving on. So the first thing you'll notice comparatively from one Smock to the other is the G10 scales. This one has a carbon fiber inlay. It is G10, but it does have a carbon fiber inlay with a texture. Well, this one is just G10, polished G10. It does look pretty good, but it sometimes looks a little cheap. So I might be upgrading. I don't want to swap this out because this was a gift, and I really don't want to tear apart the gift. So I'm just going to deal with it. But I kind of have a mentality of a knife that is too cheap, I'll beat the crap out of. A knife that is too expensive, I'll beat the crap out of because, well, I mean, it should be able to take it. And then intermediate knives like the Smock, I just baby them because I'm scared of damaging them, and this S30V is a little chippy. So I was always just kind of like on the fence of using them, which is why I carried this one. I essentially beat the crap out of this one, and then I just carried the Smock for, you know, flicking it open and closed. But honestly, that's not viable. Then why am I even carrying the Smock? Just for, I guess, entertainment. So I stopped doing that, and then I never wanted to use the Smock, so I started carrying the 0462, and then I never really liked the blade ship on that one. Anyway, my prayers were answered, and here it is. Polished G10 scales, and if you can see, a little hard to pick up, CPM-20CV. So, hell of an upgrade. And same action, there's a little bit better quality control on this knife. Again, I don't want to get too deep into this because reviews on the Smock already exist. This is almost exactly the same knife as opposed to the scales and the blade material. But this answers my prayers, and now I am perfectly happy with beating the crap out of this knife because I know mechanically the knife can take it, and now so can the steel and the scales, whatever. I don't care about those. But honestly, this is a fantastic setup, and the best part about it is, as of right now, this Smock costs the same as this Smock. They're both right now, after another price increase from Spyderco, at $175. So I can only assume that this happened at $175 because, well, they probably submitted the order for these before the price increase, and then they increased the price on this ones afterwards. So the cost to KnifeJoy was probably lower, and so they kept them at the same price. I really don't know. Don't take my word for that for me, or don't take my word for it. Just go ahead and accept the fact that they're both the same price, and don't even consider this one. Unless you really, really, really like the scales on this one and you're perfectly okay with S30V, there's absolutely no reason to buy this one. Buy this one instead. These are exclusive. There's a limited amount. KnifeJoy said there were about 1,000 of them. So they were just released last Friday. Yeah, last Friday. Last Friday from this date. I really haven't checked the calendar exactly when. I think it was the 27th of March, 2020. I might be wrong on that. But go ahead and run over to KnifeJoy. If you are remotely interested in the Smock, go ahead and snag one. Pick one up. Even if you don't even like the knife, pick one up. Keep it. Wait till they all run out. You might even be able to make some money out of it. But I highly doubt you're going to want to sell it. I think you're just going to want to keep it because it's a fantastic knife. Again, as long as you remove the secondary detent. But anyway, that is about it. I just wanted to give you a small overview and what my thoughts were on this knife. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you were considering one, go ahead and pick one up right now because they will run out. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. And comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you.